Ladies and gentlemen, once upon a time, two young gentlemen set off on a mission. A mission to make world class education universally available. They realized that the biggest hurdle for online education was keeping users motivated and engaged over time. To understand the solution to this problem, let's first meet the men who gave the solution to the world. Luis von Ahn, founder of Duolingo, was born in Guatemala. His mother enrolled him in an English class early on. Louis describes this as the difference from struggling in America to thriving in America. Louis went and created multi-million dollar tech innovations such as CAPTCHA and reCAPTCHA during and after his time in Carnegie Mellon. In Carnegie Mellon, Louis met his co-founder Severin Hacker. They both had decided to solve education through technology. But they didn't know their niche in education. Eventually, both Louis and Severin picked language. They both had to learn English coming in as immigrants to be able to thrive in America, and resonated with them to build something in that category. What started as a research project in 2009 now has grown to a public company worth $15 billion. This company is called Duolingo. Hi, I am Yashasvi and this is Bias in Business. We break down the most exceptional business stories and uncover the why behind the companies that shaped them. The year is 2009 and Louis and Severin have taken on the mission to provide world-class education universally accessible and feasible. But the question remains, how will they make a product for a kid in Africa wanting to learn English without any money to pay for it? Well, simply put, the answer is technology and deep ability to understand humans. Let's dive into it. Technology has been at the core of Duolingo. Duolingo isn't just a language app, it's a technology company disguised as a teacher. At a time when the smartphone was exploding globally, Duolingo produced a language learning app. That meant anyone, anywhere could carry a free language tutor in their pocket. The app was lightweight enough to run on simplest of smartphones with accessible offline modes for weak internet areas. But now you're going to ask me, what is so special in this? Anybody can build an app these days that can teach languages by the data available today. Well, you're right. Anybody can learn and anybody can build a language app today. But here's the difference. Duolingo didn't just build an app, they built a growth machine. Every lesson you take, every mistake you make, every streak you break, Duolingo captures it all. With millions of learners, that's billions of data points. And they use that data to constantly run thousands of tiny experiments every single day. From the color of a button to the timing of a notification, nothing is random. But isn't that something that all the companies do today? They collect data points to make their product better. Well, this is where their incredible understanding of humans came into play. You see, technology was at the core of Duolingo, but there is one more factor that has made Duolingo what it is today. You see, Duolingo has understood humans to an incredible level. Duolingo revolutionized the gamification application. So, what exactly is gamification? It's when apps borrow tricks from games to make something that's normally boring feel exciting. Think about it. In a game, you have levels, points, leaderboards, and rewards. Duolingo took all of that and applied it to learning. Let's understand this with an example of a beloved game, GTA 5. In GTA, your character is completing missions, earning rewards, and leveling up with each mission. You progress gradually in the game and you're rewarded after every mission. That's what keeps you hooked. Now compare that to Duolingo. Every lesson is like a mission. XP points are your rewards, new levels unlock as you progress, and the leaderboard is your bragging right. Even that little streak flame works like your daily mission tracker. Miss it and it feels like failing a mission in the game. That is the power of gamification. Turning learning into a game you can't seem to put down. But even though most games use gamification techniques, you don't really get addicted to every game. So, what is so special about Duolingo? Surely learning a language is more boring than the most boring game ever? Well, here's the trick. Duolingo doesn't just rely on points and leaderboards. They play on your emotions. Let's take the streak mechanic. That little flame you see once you complete a lesson, it's not just progress. It's a trophy you do not want to lose. We hate losing more than we love winning. Duolingo used this simple psychological concept to keep users hooked. And then there's the sunk cost trap. Let me explain this to you with an example. Think about Snapchat streaks. You start sending snaps every day to a friend, and before you know it, that little fire icon says 100 days. At this point, it's not about the snaps anymore. It's about not letting the streak die. You'll send a random wall picture at midnight just to protect the streak. That is the sunk cost trap fallacy. Once you've built a 50 or a 100-day streak, it's not just a number anymore. It's your discipline, your identity, proof that you've put in the work every single day. Breaking that streak would feel like throwing all those months away. And that is why users keep coming back. Not because today's lesson is exciting, but because yesterday's effort is too painful to abandon. But now you must be thinking, these are strategies constantly used by companies in various sectors. What's so special about Duolingo? Well, the answer really lies in how incredibly Duolingo has understood and applied these techniques. Let me illustrate this with a couple of examples within the Duolingo app. Listen to this, this is incredible. If I'm learning a language on Duolingo, the duo, Duolingo's famous owl bird that is on their app icon, will start sweating as I get closer to losing my streak. Not just that, in last hours of streak time, they will even change the app logo to an angry duo, resembling the teacher who reprimands you on not doing your homework. Incredible, right? Even their notifications are not bland reminders to finish a lesson, but emotional nudges. There's the leaderboard. In Duolingo, it's not just about learning, but it's also about beating others. Missing a lesson isn't just disappointing Duo, it's losing status in your league. That is what makes Duolingo special. Duolingo has forever revolutionized language learning through technology and a deep understanding of humans. And that is how founders Luis and Severin turned a research project to a $15 billion company.